So welcome back to another talk. We've got Amir here. If you don't know him, you should. I'll put your
Hello, hello.
Instagram in the description and on the screen and stuff.
hmm
But yeah, great collector, great content. And today we're talking about Pokemon, as usual.
Yeah, man. Big
So,
Pokemon.
base set, it's all kicking off.
Base set is nuts, man. Like literally. Sorry, I got notification. Yeah,
So,
last couple of weeks especially has just been like just out of this world. Yeah.
if you had a week off, like, imagine just having a
Yeah.
week off and coming back, like, what? Like, what's happened?
Exactly. We're falling into a coma. This is what's happening though. Every night you sleep, you wake up, and there's just
It's like
something new
it's
going
like a
on.
different hobby. Like it's a different story, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't keep up with it right now. It's just
No.
nuts.
Personally, I'm not looking at prices that much. Like
Okay.
you can spend so much time like seeing what's
Yeah.
going on. All I know is
Exactly.
that everything's crazy.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, and I feel like you can spend a lot of time doing like micro analytics with stuff.
yeah,
Like I found myself like looking at Charizard PSA 9. I was like, all right, sold for $5,000, and then the next one sold for 4.8, and I was like, oh shit, it's all kicking off. It's dropping, it's dropping. Next one was like 4.4, and then the next one was 5 again, and I'm just like
it's just
caught in all of it. It's
yeah.
just too much.
I think
Yeah,
when it goes up that quick and when there's so much going on, it's gonna fluctuate. Like with anything, I guess. Like it
yeah,
just depends who's buying at what time. Um, Obviously, I'm going to make a big claim, which is when we think it's going to hit $1 million set or card. You know, when the sale is going to be
okay.
for. Personally, I think it will happen, and I actually think it will happen next year. I think we always
Next year.
underestimate massively, like
Okay.
where prices are going because we can't see how it will get there, and there's kind of this
Yeah,
mindset of
yeah,
like, well, this is the value now, and collectors struggle to comprehend and see how it can go from that to that in certain time period. But I think it's kind of clear now how that could happen. I'm only saying this based on sort of everything going right and going well for what's going on
uh-huh.
with YouTubers, for box breaks,
Mm.
for Logan Paul and all the big
Yeah,
names. Like if people see him doing what he's doing, making a lot of money and being successful and enjoying it and making money at the same time, others will follow. And I mean, seriously, like the last week I've seen like at least 5 YouTubers breaking different WotC boxes. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah. It's
already
true.
kicking off.
Yeah,
Like it is
yeah,
going crazy. What do you think
yeah.
about like
Yeah,
a
no, just
million
going on
dollar
from that as
card?
well.
Yeah.
Just going on from that as well. Logic did his
Yeah.
second base set box. He pulled
Oh,
3
did he?
Charizards and 2 Blastoise from the same box, apparently. So yeah,
He did a
yeah,
second
he
one.
did it. Yeah, he did it. He just put a post up like 10 hours ago or something.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I definitely think something is going to hit $1 million. For me, the first thing, like obviously, would be like the first edition base set booster box. I can
Yeah.
definitely see that being $1 million, and
Do
like
you
you say,
think
maybe the next couple of years.
do you think that will be before the PSA 10 Charizard?
Yes,
You think
I
the
think
box will
so.
be first?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I
think
think
so.
with the
Maybe.
rate, yeah. I mean, it's yeah, it's a hard one to consider because
Yeah,
at the moment they're kind of well, they were a similar price when Logan bought it because one sold
yeah.
for pretty much the same price. But I did see a post the other day about one being sold for 375,000. Um,
Wow.
that was on some like news article or something. So I don't know how
Jesus.
legit it was, but
Yeah, yeah,
um, I guess with people
yeah.
opening those boxes, supply's going down. So
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. You know Gary from Pawn Stars or King Pokemon, whatever his
yeah,
name is.
yeah,
He said that he had, because he owns the only pristine tens BGS, the 2
yeah,
Charizards,
yeah,
and he said he had an offer for like 300-400K. So I think already in today's market, if we
yeah.
found like a black label, like
I've completely
boom,
forgot about that. Like
yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah,
always thinking like PSA 10, but that's not.
yeah,
Gary
yeah.
has those 2 cards and they're more expensive. Not that
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
don't think he would sell it. Like, why would
yeah,
you sell your? He's got like spare PSA 10 Charizard, so why would he sell his pristine like BG? Like, it just wouldn't. makes sense for him to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, he could probably get 500,000 for it right now, I reckon.
Exactly. Yeah. But there's no incentive. Like, what else would he buy?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
he gonna
like,
do? Like, there's no
why
point.
would he want to do that? It wouldn't make any sense, I guess, like financially and collector wise, because if you needed money, he's got plenty of other things to sell first.
Yeah. So like we have like Logan Paul, we have all the celebrities coming in, like the public entities and everything. Like obviously, like maybe I think personally, like over the next couple of months, things are going to stabilize just a little bit. I think we're already seeing it. Maybe over the last week, I don't know, but like if it was to increase, if things were to increase to that extent, like $1 million and stuff, I'm just wondering like what would do that? What else can we do? What are we going to get Elon Musk buying Pokemon cards? Like what do you think will get it up there?
I just think a lot of YouTubers doing the same thing. Like, there's nothing to say Logan Paul has to be the top guy doing this at the moment, if you know what I mean. Like, anyone can just come in and be like, well, I've got loads of money, so I'm going to do it. Like, there's nothing to say he has to be the one leading it on YouTube or leading it in terms of like massive exposure. There's plenty of other people that could do it. And I think just that chain reaction of other YouTubers, even if they're not as big as him, like just all those people doing it, and it kind of spreading like a trend, like, but in a sort of slow way. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but since Logan done his first video, like it's taken a while for these other videos to appear and like other box breaks to happen. And I think that's because people need to get knowledgeable on it. It's not something you can just be like jump straight into. You know, you'll probably just get scammed or something. Like, I feel like it spreads quite slowly in that sense. So yeah, I think it would either be someone even bigger coming in and doing the same thing, or just loads of people around the same sort of audience just spreading it even further.
I think it's got like a trickle down effect as well. Like obviously if first edition base set are going through the roof, then I think Jungle, Fossil, Rocket, I mean Rocket's already like kind of through the roof. Yeah, they've definitely got to follow suit, you know. Dude, Legendary Collection. I was looking at Legendary Collection yesterday. I've been purchasing up as many PSA 9s and 8s
as
I can.
They're so cheap. They are so
literally,
cheap,
mate. They are so cheap, and no one's buying them. I don't know what's going on.
Even before Logan done his break, they were like, I remember looking at them, and you could literally get like a PSA 9 for like £150. Like, they were ridiculously cheap. I've never really cared that much about that set, so I've never really bothered. But yeah, I remember looking at them being like this is like fire sale. Like,
exactly. I just picked up just before I left. I picked up a PSA 7 Venusaur for £50 from Legendary Collection. I was like, it was on there for so long. I was like, I'm going to buy it now. Like, no one else is buying it.
They're slept on. They're massively slept on. Considering there was a time where Legendary Collection was like twice the value of base set unlimited. Like, that was literally last year. Like, last year it was worth way more. The box itself. But yeah, the PSA cards are so cheap for what they are. It's so cheap. But yeah, I reckon it's a good point. Like, base set has the attention. It's like gone to Evo, it's gone to everything related to base set. Legendary Collection is probably going to pick up soon. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, the price, the ratio from like how much the packs cost, they cost more than a base set pack. Like, to the PSA graded card.
It makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. You should definitely
it's crazy.
So you think a few years in terms of $1 million?
Yeah, a few years. I feel like.
What do you think will lead to that? Just
that's
time.
A good question, man.
Just time.
I think time. I think obviously like what you're talking about makes a lot of sense. Obviously next year we've got the 25th anniversary as well. I don't know how much of a part that's going to play, and how because obviously I always try and like separate Pokemon the company to like the open market of cards, because they've got no correlation really, but they like obviously Pokemon can affect the price of things. Like, when Evolutions was released, we had like the mini boom. And I think it depends on what they release next year, whether it's like nostalgic or whether it
Yeah,
brings like
yeah,
more collectors.
yeah. That's a good point. Like we don't know what they're bringing out. It could like they did with Evo. It was like a nostalgic hit of base set. Are they going to do that
Yeah,
with like Neo? I don't like. No one knows. But
yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. Like if they bring out a new set or go for that nostalgic
Mhm.
feeling again, it could
Yeah,
change everything what's happening like completely.
yeah.
I mean,
Were you collecting much when like Evo was out?
I wasn't collecting when Evo was out, so yeah,
Oh, were you
I
not?
never even got it. No, no.
Oh shit! No
I bought
way.
a few things when Pokemon Go came out, so I was part of the Pokemon Go
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
But I didn't make any like social media. I didn't get involved in any groups or communities. So I bought a few things, and then after a few months, I kind of just forgot about it. And like I had a base set 2 booster box of first edition Charizard and a Shadowless 9 Charizard. And then yeah, I just after a few months, just they kind of just were put away in a drawer.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy, man.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm just looking at some of the notes we had here from when we were
yeah,
talking. I
yeah. I
guess
think we
this bit
haven't
could be
we
cut out
haven't
or
even
whatever.
covered like anything.
Yeah. No, no, exactly. It's probably because the first time I've like genuinely spoken to you, I kind of want to know everything about your collection and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But
It's true.
over here, like the first thing we've got, like you mentioned, was like the art of our generation.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a story about that. So I actually
Okay.
work someone I used to live with who's in sort of the same career as me. He went to an art expedition with his boss to where you can like buy and sell art. His boss was probably like in his 30s or 40s, but
Mhm.
they went to this art show expedition and he purchased some painting. No idea how much it was, but probably quite expensive. And the guys there that are like running it were like, "Oh, it's really nice to see like part of the young generation getting involved in like vintage art or something." Apparently, it was a
Yeah.
painting of just like some countryside, like a river,
Okay.
but like
Okay.
really
Yeah.
old-fashioned style art. And I just think, like, I don't, like it just seems so weird. Like I wouldn't know anyone who would want to go out and buy that. And I know it's easy to get caught up in like your perspective and your world of like, oh, everyone I know likes Pokemon, but that's because you're talking to people who like Pokemon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But like just generally, like I could not. I just see it replacing that. I just see people who used to buy paintings, hang them up on the wall, that are like worth thousands. I just see this is like the 90s way of
Hmm.
doing that. I don't know. That's
All right.
where I see
Okay.
it going. I see it as being
Yeah.
fine art that you want to put on a display. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got mine in a cabinet, like in a display cabinet. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I think
interesting.
that's where
It's
it's
interesting you
going.
say that. Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like a lot of modernism's like that. It's more about taking a snapshot from your past and preserving it,
Yeah.
right? And remembering your past in a
Well, you
different
get
way to like photographs. It's
yeah,
like
you
having
get
it there, the tangible item. So yeah,
it's
I
a
know what you mean.
nostalgic hit, like
Yeah,
especially if you
yeah,
were like I remember opening base set, like I pulled a Charizard when I was like 9 years old. Like I remember where I was, I remember the feeling.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like that's what you're buying. You're literally
yeah,
buying
yeah,
that piece of time, that memory. Like
yeah.
and it's so
Interesting.
addictive, as like I'm sure you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess like my question with that is like, okay, of course there's like the emotional connection to Pokemon, but then
Yeah,
like nowadays, especially over the last couple of years, you have to think of the financial implications that come with it as well. I feel like if you're Logan Paul or something, it's kind of easy for you to be like, yeah, that's my memory,
yeah,
$500,000, no worries, I'll buy it, whatever. But I don't know about you, but for me, and I think a lot of other collectors as well, is that we're on a budget. And so like I've never made a high-end purchase without thinking of the financial implications. Like I have to, I'm forced to do it because as much as I love Pokemon and as much as I love like buying expensive cards, I don't think I'd ever buy something that I thought would just turn into dust. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I think the only thing with that is you've got you can enter in like at any price point. Like there is
Yeah.
something for anyone's, Logan's spare change is like, a lot of money to everyone else, right? But no matter how much you have, you can buy packs, you can buy cards to open. They might not be vintage, and if they are, they're probably in bad condition. But it's the same card. You're looking at the same artwork, and I guess even more with Evo, you can get that artwork even cheaper in mint condition, except for Charizard PSA 10.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, I just think, obviously, when you're making a high-end purchase, you have to think about that because it's a lot of money for cardboard, right? But I mean, I guess it is the same as like the painting and the art. You're spending a lot of money on just some paint. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess it's kind of the same concept in that way.
But
there
are like layers.
What's that? Sorry, because I guess it just depends on your budget. Like, you don't.
I was just saying, like, obviously, like everyone's been talking about this a lot recently, and that there's layers to collect. There's like layers to collecting. There's layers of how much things cost as well. Like, personally, I don't collect PSA 10s anymore because I can't. But I'm not angry about it. Like, my big dream this year was to buy a first edition Charizard PSA 8 or 9. I remember talking to the Pokemon trader at the beginning of the year. He was going to sell it to me for $6,000 and I turned it down. But like, that was my chance, But,
we've all got those stories.
But I'm not angry that I can't afford it anymore. So I'm happy now buying the cheaper alternatives. And I feel like a lot of what's going on in the market now is I can kind of sympathize with people because I've experienced it myself. But I don't think people should be disheartened or upset that they can't afford a Pokemon card because they don't have the right to do it. It's like, I feel like a lot of people are experiencing capitalism for the first time.
It's because I think they're obviously so attached to it emotionally that there's such a presence of that hobby for them that anything that changes it, anything that changes the dynamics of it can be like a shock. But no, I completely agree. Like, it must be really frustrating to be like halfway through a set, you're like, I'm going to collect all of these in PSA 9, and then you're like, what's going on? Like, but like you said, like, they're 20-year-old cards for WotC. I mean, a lot of people made purchases hoping it would keep its value or go up. Even if they're just collecting them, you still want to know it's worth what you've paid, right? So people make that decision, and at the end of the day, things change, things go up in price, and you have to adjust to that. You can't. It can be frustrating and upsetting, but that kind of focusing on that doesn't get you anywhere. Like, you can't. You just need to adapt to the situation. Like, it's like, I know people have said it before, but it's like getting angry that you can't afford a sports car or something. Like, it's just kind of the way things go. But I think the issue is they could afford it and now they can't because certain things have happened. But that's just kind of just life, right? Things are out of your control and change happens. And you should just be happy for what you've managed to get at the time. Because if you left that later, you would have never have got that anyway. Like, I'm super happy for my purchases last year because I know I wouldn't be buying them if I started this year. I wouldn't have got anything.
You were gonna buy my base set box. Do you remember? I was asking like $4,000 for it or something.
I offered 3.8 and I didn't want to go any higher.
Damn, man, you could have had your 5th box or 4th box. Yeah.
Well, that was supposed to be my 3rd one. And then I ended up buying the 3rd one this year for nearly 7.
Okay, that's still pretty good.
It was. But compared to paying 4.
How much did you get your? If you don't mind me asking, how much did you get your first 2 for?
First one, thing is, I bought one and I did a box break. And I remember. I bought another one as well, and I sold it at some point but then I got another one. So I think one of them was 2,500, and the other one I think is about 3,000. So yeah, like ancient prices at this time.
Yeah, that must have been at the end of last year.
Yeah, middle. I think middle of last year was the 2.5, and then end of last year was the 3, roughly.
Yeah. That's same as me. That's when I made my big purchases around that time. But that just to me seems so surreal. Look how much we've come in a year. It's ridiculous. It's surreal to me. I don't understand.
And this is what I mean about like collectors underestimate prices. Like if you had seen a post last year of someone going, "Oh, how much do you think Base Box is going to be in 1 year from now?" and you saw people going, well, most answers are normally like 10 or 20% more than the current price. So they would have been like, oh, they're $3,000 now, so about 3.5. And then if you saw someone put 20, 25K, you would have been like, what are you talking about? Like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, but that's because you can't see what's going to happen, right? Like, if someone said that and then said, I think it's 20K because YouTuber's going to get hold of it, COVID's going to go crazy, Gary Vee's going to get involved. Like, if someone explains that, I mean, it would still sound pretty crazy. But like, if they could justify the reasons, you'd be like, oh yeah, maybe. Like, and that's what I mean. That's why I'm saying, like, I think it's next year, $1 million, because every time anyone's tried to gauge it, it's always off. It's always off. It's kind of like a collector perspective of just not being able to see past like how things can change so quick. Which we've all been forced into this year. Like we can understand it now. Like it's starting to make sense, right?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about all the people that are talking about? Oh man, I kind of felt sorry for some people who I don't know. It's not fact that prices are going to increase. It's only speculation, and that's all it is because it hasn't happened, right?
Anything can happen. Like no matter what anyone says, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. But like, there's like a gut feeling. Like for example, like when I had my business, like selling Pokemon cards, I like analyzed the market year in year out, just all the time. And I always knew, like, there was like a gut feeling, okay, prices are going to always increase because it's like a finite amount of products, low population, high demand. And I remember when COVID first hit and the prices went up by probably around 30% or something. And people were like, nope, going to buy it when COVID drops or when COVID finishes and the price drops. And they just didn't do anything. They didn't buy and now they're never going to be able to buy anything they wanted.
And now people would have loved the opportunity to go back to that first COVID rise because it's nowhere near that price now. Like it's gone. And obviously a lot of people talk about it's gonna drop, it's gonna crash, like it's not sustainable. What do you think about
that? I feel like the short answer is no one ever knows, but personally I can't foresee Pokemon crashing. Like, I just can't. I can see mini crashes when prices need to stabilize. I feel like right now, maybe a PSA 9 Charizard isn't a £6,000 card. I feel like maybe it's a £4,000 to £5,000 card. You know, that's again, it's speculation. And I feel like things usually go skyrocket and then they kind of stabilize, you know, and then they start to slowly increase again.
That's most markets, right? You know, whether it's Pokemon or anything else.
Exactly, you know, growth cycle.
It will rocket up. There'll be a few people who want to cash out, and it pulls back down a bit. And then typically, you know, it drops down a bit, and then stabilizes until something else happens. But no one really knows. Like with COVID, everyone was like, "Oh, it's going to drop. It's going to drop." No one's working. Why would it go up? Like not one person said it's going to go up. Like I didn't hear anyone. Everyone agreed, which is what's even stranger because normally, like, if everyone in a market or hobby thinks something will happen, it causes it to happen, right? But it literally didn't. Like even though everyone was like, "Oh, wait," because it would come down a bit, just didn't. did not happen, which is crazy.
I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why that happened. You can't put it down to furlough. Like, or can you put it down to furlough? Can you put it down to free time? Like, how can you pinpoint what it was? It's just, I think it's weird.
It was a big mixture of a lot of things. Yeah. It's I mean, like, PSA shut for a little bit. People were at home, going in their loft, finding their collection.
Yeah.
Some people, people save money not commuting and going out. So I think any collectors start to spend more money because they just had extra disposable income for a little bit. Yeah. I mean, it happened, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I always like to, and I know you do as well, think about it from an outside perspective. So you can get really focused on tunnel vision, being like, oh, Pokemon's going up. Like, everyone I know loves it, but that's because you're always surrounding yourself by it. Whereas really the average person doesn't have a clue, doesn't even know it exists as it does in terms of like grading and things. So I always like to think, right, I think it will go up, but what reasons might it not go up for? Things like that. And I know you're the same. A lot of, a few people I spoke to have made the point, as in like, Pokemon, isn't that cool? You know, people put sports cards on their, on display because it's sports and it's popular. But sometimes the argument is like, no one really cares about Pokemon. And I think the fact that you've got like rappers, you've got Logic, I mean, you've got Randolph, the grime artist in the UK. There's loads of like big names. I remember, I think JME's like had a song where he mentioned Charizard. Yeah, there's like, I think in hip hop in general, it's now become cool to like not care about what people think. And if you like something, you're like, do you know what? Like, I don't care what you think. And a lot of hip hop at the moment, I think there's loads of references to like anime and stuff like that. So I think, I don't know, personally, I think it will get to a sports card sort of price.
Yeah.
I think it could even surpass, like, get even further than that, just because of how worldwide Pokemon is in comparison. Like, sports collectors aren't that much of a thing in the UK. I don't think it's more of a US thing.
Not really big in Europe, actually. It's mostly an North American thing.
Whereas obviously Pokemon, absolutely everywhere. So I think from that side, I can't see. I could see it outperforming based on that sort of information. I'm trying to think of reasons as to why it could not do well, and at the moment I struggle with it. I can't really think of many reasons other than just the hype dying off a bit, and even then we're still at insane prices compared to like last year.
I think like a lot of my friends, they're a lot of my my closest friends, they don't collect Pokemon cards at all, and sometimes it's nice because in Instagram it's like some self-perpetuating like circle.
It shows you what you want. Yeah.
But like a lot of my friends, none of my friends that collect Pokemon cards, and I feel like sometimes it's nice to have like listen to their critical viewpoint on markets, because they're very intelligent people, and things can happen, like bubbles can happen and things can burst, things can pop. You just never know. If there was like a huge economic downfall, if there wasn't enough government funding and governments couldn't borrow money from other nations and literally everything crumbled, then I think a lot of the mid-tier collectors would crumble, because they're probably in a position where they'd have to sell their collections. Whereas I think people like Logic, people like Logan Paul, a lot of the higher end collectors, they don't need to sell.
Nothing's going to happen to them.
Smaller fries.
They, no matter what happens, they've got loads of money, right? They're gonna. Why would they? They don't have to sell. They probably will never have to sell. And if he just wants to keep buying cards, Like he could just keep buying cards for a long time, right, and never even have to sell any of them if he didn't want to. Like no matter what happens with economy or anything, like you know, there might be the odd few that you don't know their financial situation and how they are with money, right? But generally speaking, they don't need to panic sell. Like the only people that will panic sell will be, like you said, like mid-tier collectors who are overextending. There's probably quite a few people out there that might be spending more than they should. To make a quick bit of money. Because they heard about this thing on YouTube on Logan Paul's channel. I'm sure there will be people out there that have done that. Just as equally, there's loads of collectors that don't even care what the price is, and they will just, never sell, like unless it was literally life changing. And I think actually that's something that comes up, which is the higher the price gets, I think some collectors, it actually puts them off selling even more, because they just think, if I sell this now, I'm never ever going to get it back. Like
yeah.
And I know I feel the same with some of my items. Like if I've got duplicates of things, I'm like, that's fine. I don't mind selling it, right? Because I've got 2 of them. But anything I've got 1 of, I'm like, I don't think I'd want to go through with it. Like you literally totally saying agree. Goodbye to it forever, because it's not the
and on the opposite on the opposite spectrum, you have the reason you're purchasing. I don't know about you. For me, we were talking about this the other day, FOMO, man. The fear of missing out. That's the only reason I bought my stuff. I was like, I'm never going to get it in the future. I need to buy it right now.
No, definitely. And I think that always kicks in a lot when there's big price increases. And I think that's what happened around COVID times, is people thought it was going to drop and it didn't. And they were like, I need to get it now. Like, if I don't get it. And it happens. It does happen a lot. Like you said, you didn't get the first edition Charizard off Matt, and
that's his name.
I didn't get the base box off you. Like, I think you make a big mistake like that once, right? And then you're like, I'm not letting that happen again.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I already made that mistake. I sold. So I bought 3 booster boxes last November when I was in Vietnam. I bought a base set 2 for 1.5K, and then I bought 2 base set 1 booster boxes for, one was 2.9, the other was 3.1. And then as soon as I got to the UK, I was like, oh my God, the price has gone up. Like I was in the UK. When was I in the UK?
Did you leave them here? Did you leave them here?
No. I mean, I bought them and I got them sent to my family in the UK. And then I went back to the UK to visit last November. And then I just tried to sell everything because I was like, I can't believe how much the price has gone up and I need the money now. And then, like, lucky enough, you didn't buy my booster box. Otherwise, I wouldn't have one right now. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
I bet. Yeah, I'm bet you're glad that happened. Really.
Massively, man. Yeah, I would have been distraught now thinking about it.
And I think what's weird as well, literally last year, base set unlimited boxes. Man, every week there was a box break. I could find a box break. I could source a base box. Like at least once a week. They were everywhere. They were on raffle accounts. There were people doing it on Facebook. Like, they were so easy to get hold of. And even though the price has gone up so much, you can't find a like base set box break. Like, they just in terms of like selling the packs and like buying, unweighed booster packs. Like, it's crazy how quickly like everything's just gone.
It is, people forget sometimes it's finite, isn't it? Like, there just aren't many of these things left. You can definitely see it with the older EX boxes. There's literally like hardly any of them on the market. You'll never see one pop up.
No.
It's crazy,
And it's only going to get worse because people open it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there is big channels right now just box breaking for views. And
massively. Pokerand.
Yeah,
Pokerand, Randolph, he did 1 box, and then Logic did 2 boxes.
He's he's box breaking Jungle and opening the packs.
2 jungles.
And
he
not
is,
stopping.
yeah.
He's not stopping either. Like he's
No,
only
he
just
bought
getting
EX
started.
Fire Red Leaf Green as well.
Yeah.
He's the one
He
that
opened
won
that
it from
himself.
Yeah.
So,
It's crazy.
They're literally like, do you know what I mean? Where are we going to be next year when all these YouTubers spent thousands of pounds opening loads and loads of boxes? There's just going to be left with like hardly any.
Yeah. The other argument to that, which I know I wouldn't make it, I know a lot of people would make, is
printed into oblivion.
No, they'll say, oh well, there's more PSA cards now. Because they've opened them all, we're going to have double the pop. And I guess, but to me, that wouldn't really affect the market at all because of demand. You know, just outweighs everything.
It takes so long to, you know, it's not like in 1 month you get 20 base set boxes opened. It all goes to PSA and it comes back the next week. Like it just doesn't happen. And a lot of those people don't sell the cards. They don't grade them and then like flip them. Like Randolph will keep his cards. Like collection. No, that's not going on the market. But another point is people will say base sets just printed mass production. Right. That's a common point people love to make.
Yeah.
It was.
How many boxes do you think exist? Basically, I know we'll never know. There's no market cap. But how many base set boxes do you think exist? Just so I can get someone else's rough opinion. I think there's probably around, I'm going to say 1,000 to 2,000 boxes.
I was going to say 1,000.
Yeah.
Like it's obviously impossible to know, but I know, like even last year, I know a lot of collectors that bought them for their personal collection to keep forever. And I know they haven't sold. They're not even, you know, that active on the community. And that's just like people that I knew at the time. And that is UK only as well. So I think there are, you know, 1,000 sounds like a lot, right? But let's say 800 of them will never be sold because people, you know, it's their personal collection. They never want to sell it. They don't care what the price is. So that's like 200 left. Let's say, you know, over the next few years, a couple get opened a year, you know, 25 disappear, get opened, never to be, you know, it's all about what's available at the time. So, you know, if no one wants to sell it and there's only one for sale, like it just that's all there's going to be, and if someone wants to buy it, they're going to have to pay whatever that person is asking, and if they don't want to pay that, that's fine. They don't get it.
Right? That's going to be you with all your boxes. You're gonna be like monopolizing the market, man.
Right. A lot of people are calling a bubble. A lot of people are speculating declines. What's this bubble about?
What is the bubble about, man? The bubble, I think the bubble's always been there. If there is one, it's literally massive.
And we're all inside it.
We're all inside the bubble and we can't see outside the bubble. It's just a bubble, Man, I don't know.
People have claimed it like several times. Yeah, a lot of YouTubers and people cover this at Pokemon Go. There's been several points in history where people have gone, "Oh my god, bubble." Nah, it wasn't. Bubble. Nah. And then I think it's probably those type of people who get frustrated and need like an outlet to just be like, this is what's going on. It's a bubble, as a way of kind of shoving it off, and hoping that that's the case. It's more of an emotional response, I think.
Yeah, S.M. Pratt was talking about it. I think he made quite a good point that he was talking about scalpers and people who keep talking about the bubble. And he was talking about how it's all emotionally charged as opposed to people taking a step back and actually using their brains and thinking about what's going on. I mean, no offense to anyone that believes in a bubble, whatever, you know, but like...
My cat's
I think people should really think about stuff. Oh, hello. Featuring cat. Yeah.
No, definitely. Like, it's hard to it's hard to see why. You have to try and think of it like, what's going on? Why is this happening? And a lot of people do think, you know, it's hype. I mean, hype gets thrown around all the time, right? But as we know, it's a limited supply that was printed how long ago? So, you know, if there's more interest in it, prices will go up, you know, and there's a reason for that. Logan done his video, 8 million people saw it. So it's kind of natural, right? Like it would be worrying. Worrying if it didn't go up when that happened. That would be, you know, the old outcome. And I guess if you think it's a bubble, you should be happy. I know you agree with this. Like, people should, if they genuinely think that that's what's going on, they should be happy that they're and getting ready to purchase when it happens at a cheaper price.
Exactly.
But the reality is they'll probably be waiting forever. Personally, I don't, you know, like you said, you know, drop down a bit, stabilize, but we don't know when that is. It could keep going up for 2 more months, and when it drops down to way higher than it is now. Like, we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's super hard to try and call an upward trend market. Like, you're trying to fight an upward trend to be like, oh, at some point it will pull down. But like, what if it pulls down? You know, you're here. What if it pulls down up here? Like, you could have just bought it at that point. And you know, got it cheap. Basically, like me and your base box.
Exactly.
Could have just bought it then, and I would have spent less than I did this year on my other one. So
exactly. I feel like people, you definitely, I don't know. I can't call a bubble. I feel like you can't really call it. I can't see prices ever decreasing further than what they are right now. Like, I can't see it happening. Maybe like there'll be like a stabilization, but then again, things will increase. I just don't see things decreasing. At the same time, though, on the other side, I would never go out of my way right now and spend 25k on a base set booster box. I wouldn't do that. That's like a house deposit.
It is. And I'm the same. Like, I wouldn't. That's what I mean. Like, I'm happy I got what I did when I could, because I couldn't get it now.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just out there.
But yeah, like, it's a limited number of supply, and if more interest comes in, no matter what price is, you know, there's a price point for everyone. You can buy cards for £20. You can buy them for 200, 2020. Like, you know, whoever it is coming in, they can, you know, there's a lot of choice from what to buy.
They can enjoy the hobby.
But it is limited. So the more people, the more it goes up. We have been talking. Sorry, John.
No, I was going to say, I have noticed quite recently as well. I know the open market's obviously eBay for Pokemon cards, but just from my small circle, my experience, I've noticed a lot of higher end sales happening off eBay. They just don't happen as Instagram gains more traction. Things are happening there, you know, and it's kind of hard to monitor prices.
I was not that long ago. I was checking prices and like checking WotC box sales in the UK, and I was going through eBay sold. I was doing a video on it and like verifying any on Instagram. I think there was 1 month that had like record sales, and 10 boxes sold within like 2 or 3 weeks. 9 of them were done privately, so that like only 1 of them was done on eBay. But I mean, it makes sense as to why that happens with fees and everything. But as prices go up, that only happens more. And you kind of need experienced collectors to value things from that sense. Like, if you were new coming into the hobby, and with not having many sales on eBay, it's hard to work out. But that's definitely going to increase.
Yeah, I think eBay cements prices too. Like, you could tell me your friend Derek bought a base set booster box for 35k, but I'll be like, yeah,
You're like,
okay.
yeah.
But if that happens on eBay, boom, okay, good. It's worth
Because
35k
it's
now.
because there's, well, as much as you know, it's not fully proof, but
Yeah.
it's more legit than someone messaging you like, oh, I don't want to sell it for that much because I know someone who sold it. You're like, wow, I don't
Yeah.
know. But,
Exactly,
you could just be
yeah.
saying that to
Yeah.
get more money.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, we've been chatting for a long time, so we'll probably leave it there. I
Get rid
hope
of
everyone.
Oh,
Oh,
where have I gone?
you disappeared.
All right, there I am.
I hope everyone enjoyed today's chat, and I hope you're not dying.
Choking on a nut, man.
Oh no. Yeah, if you like, I had loads of fun. Really enjoyed talking to you. I know we've got very similar perspectives in the way we make our purchases and analyze the market. So it's really good to actually finally talk to you as well. Like, I've only ever messaged you. I haven't actually, sat down and spoke to you before.
Yeah.
But if you know, thanks for coming on. And if anyone wants to see more videos like this, just I'll put Amir's Instagram in the description, so make sure you go follow it. Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
I want to say likewise, but I can't because I'm dying.
That's fine.
Likewise, man. Thank you so much for having me.
That's all right. I know you want to do some podcasts as well, so if
yeah, definitely.
If you want to do some more, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Cheers, man.
I need to get Jesus Christ, man. I need to get a bit of a better setup here in Vietnam.
Yeah, me too. I have to as well. Yeah. All right. Cheers, man.
Cool,
See you later.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.